the Prime Minister and the opposition leader, of course, I'm speaking of. The Prime Minister, or the question, how do you rate Andrew Holness's performance after 9 years as Prime Minister? For Mark Golding, how do you rate Mark Golding's performance after almost 5 years as opposition leader? Those are the questions Bluedot asked. The Prime Minister, 22% rated his performance as poor. Mark Golding, 32% rated Golding's performance as poor. Average, 35% rated the Prime Minister as average. For Golding, 41% rated him as average. Good. The Prime Minister, 43% rated him as good. Golding, 27% rated him as good. Now, those are the headline figures. Where the Prime Minister is concerned, good is showing a marginal, negligible 1% uptick from 42% in February 25. For Mark Golding, his rating of good is up by 4%. That is outside of the margin of error. That's not negligible. So he's up from 23% in February 25 to 27%. Average, the Prime Minister, 32% saw him as average in February 25. That's now up to 35%. Again, to be noted, notably so, outside the margin of error. For Golding, steady, 41% in February 25, 41% in May 2025. Poor, in February 25, Holness, 26% rated him as poor. It's now down to 22%. Yes, a 4-point gain for the Prime Minister. For the opposition leader, a similar 4-point gain. 36% rated him as poor in February 25. That's now down to 32%. So, the figures are telling us that the Prime Minister is holding steady at over 40%, 43%. For Mr. Golding, he's improving, but he's coming from a low base of 20% in 2022. Yes, 20% in 2022. The Prime Minister is coming from a low base of, where's the Prime Minister's figures now? Oh, never went down to more than 32% in 2023. Is now up to 43%. So from 32 to 43. Golding from 20 to 27%. Yeah? But you always have to dig deep in the numbers. Yeah? And when you look at the parishes across Jamaica, the Prime Minister is in net positive territory in 11 of the 13 parishes. We have 14 parishes, but we group Kingston and St. Andrews 1, so it's 13. The Prime Minister is in net positive territory in 11 of the 13 parishes. Mr. Golding is in net positive territory in only 2 of the 13 parishes. A positive 8% in Portland and a positive 6% in St. Catherine. What do you mean by positive territory? It means that more people rating him good than poor. Right? So, for example, in Portland, where he's in net positive territory, 33% rated him as good, 25% rated him as poor. That's how you get positive 8%. Yeah? But for Mr. Golding, there are some glimmers of hope, but he's still in problems. Still in problems. Overall, he's in negative territory, underwater. Overall, 32% rated him poor, 27% rated him good. That's negative 5%. He's down underwater in Clarendon, negative 13. Hanover, negative 14. Kingston and St. Andrew, negative 3. Manchester, negative 12. St. Anne, negative 6. St. Elizabeth, negative 19%. 19%. And the PNP needs carry home St. Elizabeth, southwest, southeast, northeast, St. Elizabeth. But the leader there is down 19%. In St. James, negative 4%. St. Mary, negative 3%. And this one is a little surprising for me because all the numbers we have been looking at coming out of St. Mary, the JLP is in trouble in St. Mary. Yeah? The JLP is polling badly in St. Mary. And there, Mr. Golding is down negative 3%. That shows his underlying weakness. In St. Thomas, he's down negative 20%. Trelawney, negative 4%. And what should be worrying? Listen to Westmoreland. Mr. Golding is down negative 19%. PNP Parish, Westmoreland. 38% rated him as poor versus 19% rating him as good. As I've been saying, the PNP's path back to Jamaica House must run through Westmoreland. If they don't win back those 3 seats in Westmoreland, they cannot win the elections. And the leader is underwater by a massive 19% in Westmoreland. That must be instructive to the organizers and strategists at Old Hope Road. Compare those numbers to the Prime Minister across the country. Across the country, the Prime Minister enjoys a positive 21% rating. Westmoreland is up 26% positive. 46% of the people of Westmoreland rating him as good versus 21% poor. I'm talking about. Look at St. Mary. He's down negative 3%. 3%. 38 rating him poor, 35 good. But that's where his party is polling badly based on these polls. Yeah? The Prime Minister is in net positive territory in 11 of the 13 parishes, while the PNP leader is in negative territory in 11 parishes. Yeah? He's up 25% in Clarendon, 31% in Hanover, 20% in Kingston and St. Andrew, 10% in Manchester, 18% in Portland, 10% in St. Anne, 27% in St. Catherine, 25% in St. Elizabeth, 30% in St. James, 23% in St. Thomas, and 26% in Westmoreland. So, I think the point to be made is that Mr. Golding is inching forward. But is it good enough? Is it good enough? A little later, we're going to get the numbers for, we have been asking this question. If you were to vote in a direct election for Prime Minister, yeah, how would you vote? Yeah, we're going to